As you can tell by the title, today's video will be about the Brits.
Whoa. You can't just make a video bashing us Brits. We've done nothing wrong.
Anyway, in this theory, we'll be covering how the Brits really aren't that great. I'm not saying the Brits are the antagonists of the game, aside from the zombies, because there are plenty of British men that help us in the game, such as Barry and the HMS Undaunted crew. Remember that nothing I'm gonna say should be taken as actual Guts and Blackpowder lore. All information taken in this video comes from the Guts and Blackpowder official wiki. Join my Discord server in the comments and stay till the end of the video for a very important announcement regarding that. Now, let's get into today's theory. Now, it's important to note that the UK isn't the only nation that does some questionable things. For example, the Marshal forward Blücher, who, regardless of the cost, wants to chase Napoleon and kill him, even if it means his entire army will die, leaving only him and a random officer behind. I first took notice of the Brits being especially interesting at Copenhagen. Aside from the crap ton of bombers here, it's clear that the city is constantly being bombarded by the Brits, and you really have to ask yourself, how much innocent, non-infected civilians have died because of this? The Copenhagen newspaper of July 7th is a call to arms to all male citizens of Copenhagen to fight, so there must be plenty of those left in the city prior to the bombardment. So boom, that's the first thing I found, the slaughter of hundreds, maybe even thousands innocent civilians via bombardment. Ask yourselves this. Why are the Brits even at Copenhagen in the first place? Obviously, to deal with the Blight. But come on now, by 1815, the entirety of Europe should be a Blight hotspot. Why did the Brits actively decide to step in at Copenhagen? But stay with me now, Guts and Blackpowder lore enjoyers, it's going to get good. In the Copenhagen newspapers, not only are the Brits taking advantage of a weakened France to take Dutch territories, yeah, add that one to the list, it also states on the newspapers of June 5th, 1815, that Danish relations with Britain have soured. The Brits expect sacrifices to be made by every nation of Europe. They especially expect Danish reinforcement to help their own offensive against the Blight, but Denmark refuses. Now, I don't see the Brits taking this one very well. So, not even a month later, on July 7th, when Copenhagen takes place, and when the Blight mysteriously pops up in the Danish capital, the Brits have an excuse to lay waste to the city. The ordered quarantine is, of course, a safety measure, but I believe it's also a tool for revenge against the Danes for disobeying what the Brits see as a direct order. To Hougoumont we go, as I saw some noteworthy acts related to this map as well. In the Copenhagen newspapers, a survivor of Hougoumont is being interviewed, and he says the following. By what must have been midnight, the English, such cowards, abandoned our forces. And there you have it, lads, literal proof of the British army abandoning an already weak France at Waterloo. Even the wiki states this. They straight up left the battlefield and caused the French to get overrun. Not only that, but in the Hougoumont newspapers, Wellington claims that the Blight is simply just some form of the plague, to stop the spreading of rumors that the Blight makes the dead rise again. Except we all know the Blight turns you into a man-eating cannibal. This raises the question, why does Wellington refer to it just being a common plague? Or is there more going on here? Did Wellington perhaps see the Blight for himself, maybe during the Spanish campaign? And it made him realize that if this plague were to ever reach the UK, chaos, panic, and death would ensue? So he chooses to lie to the people, even if it's for their own good? I don't know, man. Out of all nations, we can find the most details for the British actions, as they're all pretty well documented on the newspapers and notes. But that's what makes the game even more interesting to me. A nation that has actual goals and motives, and whose actions are explained in excruciating detail. Anyway, hope this video was to your liking. Make sure to tell me your own theories in the comments.
Thanks for watching!
What the fuck is happening? Behind us! How did you miss?